I think a lot of the time we get stuck on what is our purpose. But maybe the question isn't what is our purpose, and maybe the question is, how do I experience so much that my purpose finds me? Because a lot of the time, this is you got a nice smiley face, maybe some ears, well, they're big ears, little cool little hairdo. Might need to go to the gym maybe. Anyway, this is you. What's my purpose? And you're thinking all the time, every day, what's my purpose? And the issue is that we get so fixated on thinking about this all the time that we start to lose so much time. Don't mind the drawing. And the more that we think about, what's my purpose, the more time we lose. And the older we get. So the big issue is that we're so focused on this cycle of going to what's my purpose, wasting time, what's my purpose, wasting time. And it's this loop, and it just goes around and around. What we really should be doing to find our purpose is what we need to do is we actually need to, are you ready for it? Live life. We need to expose ourselves to everything. We have to live life. We have to look at, hey, what is something that I can do today to experience something new? Because new equals exposure. And you might be thinking, well, what is exposure? Why is new so good? And why is exposure so good? The reason why it's good to experience new things is because the exposure from that new experience will start to rewire our thoughts, our beliefs, who we think we are, our identity. And I'll give you an example. So if you have never been to a fine dining restaurant and then it's a new experience and you go to that fine dining restaurant and you have this new experience, then you're exposed to a new way of living. And that new way of living allows you to then think, wow, this would be really nice to experience. And maybe that is the first experience point that you have. So you have one experience point. And let's just say that maybe you need 100 or 10 or 5, or whatever it may be. Everyone is different. So let's just say you need 100 experience points to realize what your purpose is. And what these experience points can be is traveling, it can be working in different places, it can be having different conversations, it could be actually reflecting on your life, reflecting on what you're grateful for, reflecting on who you are, reflecting on what you want. But we don't get reflection without action. So inaction will only create the same outcome. And if you want something new, you've got to do something different. And to get something different, you have to do something new. Because the issue isn't that we're just stuck on thinking about purpose. The issue is that we want to live life, or we want to have a purpose, or whatever it may be it. But the issue is that we're doing the same thing. And what does doing the same thing do? It gives you the same outcome. So if we're stuck between two worlds of doing the same thing, constantly thinking about what we want to have or what we want to do, but we don't take any action, we don't live our life, we don't experience new experience points, then we're going to get the same outcome. Now, if we start to do something different and we start to constantly seek new experiences, new ways of thinking, new conversations, then the outcome that we get will be different. And in such, we'll start to increase our experience points. And that will then lead us to a quicker outcome of finding our purpose. I'll give you an example. Working in hospitality taught me how much I love customer service. Working as a support worker in London taught me how amazing it is to be exposed to people with intellectual or physical impairments and how kind and loving they really are and how much support they really need. Being exposed to athletes when I did personal training and strength conditioning allowed me to understand like what peak performance really is and how to optimize it. Exposing myself to workshops in corporate companies when I had no experience allowed me to realize how simple it is. It's not that deep. How building a workshop or a slide isn't a big thing. How learning how to negotiate pricing models or services is a skill, and that sales is the backbone of society really, because you can't have something without selling something at the end of the day. And that all comes from new experiences, which is the exposure that we need to find our purpose. So the more that you seek new things, the more you'll be exposed to new realizations, the closer you'll get to finding your purpose. Because unlike what everyone said, that you're born with your purpose, or that you just know, it's like, yeah, you do just know, but you've also been exposed to multitudes of information that have led to that outcome. Someone who has talent didn't realize they had talent until they exposed themselves to a new experience. They exposed themselves to something they didn't know they could do, didn't realize they had that skill. No one knows exactly what their purpose is until they put themselves in the right position to find out what it really is. If that helps and you want to know more, you need a little bit more information, let me know below. And thanks for listening.